Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Left hand dominant or right hand dominant, which one is right for you? That's what we're gonna cover today. I'm gonna give you a great example of how I helped a player with that specific idea. Looking specifically at how I applied this idea to a player that I was helping with this morning. A couple things, right? So when I first start working with a player in the Obsessed Golf Club, we do an interview, I learn a lot about them. Sort of one of the questions I ask is, do you get sore anywhere when you practice? And for this player, before I even really watched them hit many, it was like, oh, my left hand and my left sort of arm and shoulder get sore after I practice. And he's a right-handed player, okay? So that's an interesting thing. He struggles with a cut pattern. Again, an interesting thing. I'll sort of fill you in on what I'm thinking about as we go on in this. So then I look at the swing. I'll just use stack for this because I think it will highlight a couple things. So when he was going back, as he would go back up to the top, his right hand actually would come off the club. So I could see a lot of space here under his right hand. And then he'd come down, and as he'd come into impact, his right hand would still be off the club. And then you'd see a little bit of sort of like this left elbow start to bend, a little bit of like that kind of motion, and then a cut pattern, okay? So those are the pieces of the puzzle for this player. So first we got to make sure, one, physically, I saw his assessment. He's a pretty good mover, so that was check. Two, I wanted to talk to him about his concept, but what is he trying to do in the downswing, okay? So for this player, he was trying to rotate hard and pull pretty hard with the lead side as he'd come through impact. So we have the left hand for a right-handed player is the pulling motion. The right hand is sort of the pushing or throwing motion, okay? So this is the way that I'm talking about sort of left hand versus right hand dominance. So when this player was coming in, so he was in a big pull motion with his left side. So his left hand was getting sore, left shoulder getting sore. He gets to the top and he's into a pull motion. So a lot of rotation early, and then the left arm pulling across. So you can see how that club is going to be working across the golf ball with that pull motion. So the keys for this player was we went into first what we're going to do at address, and then I'm going to walk you through the rest of the swing in step two here. In the swing, we always start, for when I'm coaching someone, we just start where we're not moving, okay? So it's set up, even before that, our intent, so from a concept standpoint, so concept and intent and setup. With this player, we went first, the right hand has to be on the top of that left thumb, okay? So making sure there's pressure there. When there's pressure there, we've activated sort of this right hand. We're gonna be able to use the muscles of this right hand. So the first thing was at address, Kitty crushed this thumb a little bit more. And then as he wound up, what was it like to crush that thumb the whole time? When he was in that position, what we were able to do was now we have a more active trail arm, okay? With a more active trail arm, we're able to start to put some forces into the club, and then that's gonna change. So first step, good grip, good setup, then intent the whole way back. Keep that right hand pushing onto the grip as hard as we can. And then I'm gonna show you what we did in step three to change his path from 10 from the inside, or 10 from the outside to 3 from the inside, okay? So that was, I'm gonna give you step 3 here on how he changed his path with that dominant hand feel. Okay, so once he got clear on what the top of the backswing was, then because of his intent to use the left side so hard, we started to switch it. Okay, what was it like to keep the left side calm and start to extend the right hand a lot sooner? And then you can see here, as he extends his right hand, that club is gonna start swing more from the inside because he's not adding so much rotation. I'm not saying you're not gonna rotate, but for him, the intent of left hand pull and rotate was causing the path to go way too far out to in. It was also causing his head to move in front of the ball. So we did good top, head stays back, and then make sure that right arm extends, and you can see how different that post impact is gonna look. Both arms extended versus head forward, and then pulling across the ball into sort of that left arm chicken wing, and then big fades. We changed those to draws pretty quick. We're just changing that intent of what hand was doing the work in the downswing. I'm gonna give you one drill that's gonna help you integrate this into your swing. Okay, so the drill that we used for this player was what I highlighted in a video a couple months back talking about arm dominance. Was we just used a single arm. So for him, since he was so left side dominant, we started him to do some slow swing. So I'm using the stack for this. I think in the lesson we actually had his club upside down. So he was swinging, starting to get used to what it's like to put force into the club through the trail arm. That was something he wasn't really doing before. So swinging that arm and For him, it was very opposite. Instead of the body being dominant, I changed it for him. We started to make the arm a little bit more of that key focus. That started to help him get used to what it was like to swing the club a little bit more free. His body was still rotating a ton because when his arm started to swing, because he was used to turning so hard, it actually, he felt like he wasn't rotating, he was still rotating. That's where it's nice to have that little interaction when we're doing the online sessions of me letting him know, hey, you know what, you're in the right pattern, you're doing the right thing. And then for him, this drill was a really key feel because he had to keep pressure onto the club the whole time, and then he started to learn what it was like to use that trail hand to help him get more of that throw motion through versus just the lead hand in that pull motion. Hope this idea helps. Obviously, lots of ways to play this great game. Make sure you know what's right for you. If you need any more help for your game, check out the obsessedgolfclub.com.